So we have had Estonian view, global view, and let's now get to business, how to actually do it. And it's a pleasure to have Krista Petersone to talk about how to compete internationally when you are not the cheapest. Floor is yours.
Thank you. So, Tere, hello. Thank you for having me today here. I'm very honored and happy to be here. Today, my topic is how to compete when you are not the cheapest one. And as I'm not representing furniture company, you might have be a question, so why can I share some tips and tricks with you? So first, I would like to share a couple of words about the company which I represent, Gateway Partners, previously known also as Gateway Baltic. So who we are and what we do. So we are expert consulting company working since 2004. We're a Latvian company, and we are currently, through those years, growing into the biggest company in Baltics and also actually one of the biggest in Eastern Europe in what we do. And so what we do, what does it mean, expert consulting company? So basically, it means two directions. One direction is market research part. So if for some market you need, before enter it, some strategic decisions, information to take strategic decisions about competitors, pricing, major sales channels, etc., then that's one thing what we can do. And the other thing is already expert sales support, project-based support to your existing in-house sales teams. And we have worked with more than 1,000 clients, so we have experience from various industries and countries. And what I think is our main advantage is that we are around 25 in-house people company, and we speak 15 different languages. So which means that with quite a lot of countries, we can, on behalf of our clients, break the first ice, well, on their native language, which of course gives some benefits. We work in different countries, but mostly it's the biggest focus is, of course, also those countries where Baltic producers are most represented. So it's Scandinavia, Nordics, it's Western European countries, and another as well. But if we talk about the furniture, then so. Out of around 1,300, there is one extra zero, realized projects, we have around 100 projects realized in furniture industry. And so it means that we have worked with Baltic, also with other country furniture producers, very different producers, smaller, bigger, working with solid wood, working with MDF, focusing on do-it-yourself chains, focusing as subcontracting to other producers, brand names, focusing to top players, distributors, big names, so on. So, of course, every case depends, and every company case depends, but there have been some common lessons for us when working with those 100 furniture companies, 100 projects. We have organized around more than 500 meetings for those companies, various countries, various size, various segments. And out of those 500 business meetings, we see that there's around 200 partnerships started. And we have some know-how or our findings, so why there are, what is working, nevertheless the segment you are working, and maybe why something is not working. So this is my today's main goal, to share our experience, and I hope that you can take before the lunchtime something also very something valuable for you from our experience, which I will also illustrate with the three client cases. But if we talk about the furniture, Baltic furniture industry, then also it was mentioned in previous presentations that Lithuanians are a bit ahead of us. And today later we have also a speaker from Lithuania. You have speaker from Lithuania, so there will be opportunity to ask directly how and why they are doing. But the furniture industry in Lithuania is the most developed in the Baltic countries, and they are also exporting the biggest volumes. But what I want to praise or say good word about you who are sitting here in the auditory, although the Estonia is the smallest nation if we see regarding the number of inhabitants, then you are ahead of Latvia, and you are exporting more. And also in the previous presentation, we saw that the growing trends, and they are among the highest in the Europe, which is a positive sign. And what is also interesting, if we are seeing Estonian furniture export, then basically almost 75% goes to the Nordic countries. And of course, it's because of the cultural. There is no cultural barriers. It's very easy to understand. Of course, there are geographical preferences, like there are short distances. And but this is not the secret, really, that of course one of the important competitive advantage in those countries why you as an industry, 75% of the exported goods goes to the Nordic countries, is the cost advantage. And what we see is that those cost advantages are decreasing for us. So those are not the numbers particular for the furniture segment, but this is the average salary in general. But if we see that if in 2000 the difference on the average salary between worker in Estonia and Finland was 6 times, then in 2006 it was already 4 times, and in 2016 it was around 3 times. And I actually think that well, you know the numbers I think better than me, but I think that actually the qualified worker salary in the factory, it's not anymore 3 times. There are no 3 times difference. It's actually smaller. So we are kind of losing. We will be probably more cost, let's say, cheaper than Nordic countries, but we are losing this one very important competitive advantage that we have worked quite a lot of years. So if our clients, if our partners are working with us only because we can offer the lowest price, then there's a problem, because that is not, that won't be a long-term solution, and that won't be your client anymore in a couple of years, because we won't be anymore the cheapest countries with the cheapest labor force in EU. So this leads us to that, how to compete when we are not the cheapest one. What we can do, not to talk, what we can do so that the price is not becoming the most important factor. And again, of course, it depends from every company, but here are our 3 lessons, what we believe is very important, and I would like to share with you. So, lesson first is that focus. You should focus and know your niche and be excellent in it. So, we in Gateway, we always have some some headaches when we receive like client request, and when we are asking what are your strengths, what are your advantages, then company says, well, I can do everything. Because if you can do everything, it doesn't mean that you don't have some niche, some parts where you're very strong, where you know really you have very good machinery, really what is needed. You have very skilled workforce that now who knows what they do really in the high level and can be effective and can do it fast and can find fast solutions to various client needs. And one client, one case of ours, so I would like to mention Rauko, which is a Latvian company. And they are producing, they're basically working in project-based furniture, so there's no mass production. Their major client are shop fitting companies who are working with hotels, with cafes, and any other public places, where basically, then designing and having products for their showrooms, lobbies, so on. So basically, it always goes together with the architects, with the interior designers, sometimes also with construction companies. So Rauko management, they know that most probably they won't become one of the top biggest Latvian companies, because you need some mass production to reach like hundreds of millions turnover. But they are really good at what they are doing, and they have needed machinery. They know how to do it effective, so they can also offer affordable price. Of course, one of their significant benefits also are that it's project-based, so it's individual orders, so it's still quite a lot of handwork, which there are benefits of that. But basically, they have in the niche what they are doing, they are really good. And when we were working with them to Sweden, then basically almost every second company that we were talking to and introducing them with our client were interested to meet. And very fast also after the first meetings, they got the first orders and started to work. And what's another interesting fact, for example, if we talk about Sweden and small and middle-sized companies from Baltics, from Estonia, then if we see the statistics of the Swedish furniture market, that what we can see is that there are around 2,000, 2,200 furniture producers in Sweden. So on the first glance, it seems like really big competition. But most of those companies, and with most I think it's around 85% of those companies are 5 to 20 employees. So they are also quite small, and as they don't have, in previous years, they didn't have EU funds for co-finance for investing in new machinery and so on, then actually, on the one hand, those small companies, they still have their network of the clients, but on the other hand, they are really hard competing with the big ones. So for small and medium-sized companies, I think also it's really good way how to enter the market, to find some corporationship with the local producers. So you have still better most probably, I'm not saying that's always, but most probably you have better machinery, you have skilled workforce that it's still at lower cost than there, and they have good network, good clients, local face, so there can be some mutual synergy. Lesson 2 is adding a value, adding a high value. And I'm not talking here that everyone should focus on producing something premium segment furniture or something. you can have also high value when you are producing, I don't know, something for do-it-yourself stores. And in every segment what you are working, I would suggest that there are always place for improvement, always how to add value to your partner for your client. And here I would like to share the story about another our client, Lithuanian kitchen furniture producer, Voke. And we were working with them to the Sweden and Norway, and we were looking as potential clients, construction companies, real estate developers, who could potentially use their furniture in their residential buildings, like built-in kitchens. And like we organized the meetings, everything went well, and the first deliveries after the first order they received and delivered, I think they delivered after 1 month after the first meeting. I think that the companies who are working with export knows that like 1 month after the first introductory meeting is like very short term, how to start the export. So what was their golden key? What was their golden secret? They don't have some unique technologies that no one else have in the furniture industry. What was their, what happened like with them was the main thing was their sales argument. And sales argument was that they told that, okay, how we pack the goods, how we deliver the goods. We produce the kitchen furniture, and we pack so that everything that you need for the one particular apartment, it will be packed together. And so you can just open the truck, and you see, okay, this is apartment 1, this is apartment 2, this is apartment 3, etc. So it saves time, expensive time, on the construction site in Sweden, so that construction worker or someone who assembles the kitchen there, they don't need to find, okay, the doors are in that truck or in that truck, or the walls are in others, so it's like a lot of wasted time. And for their clients, for the construction companies, for real estate developers, that was the main argument. And basically, it's not about the production, it's how you pack your goods and how you deliver your goods. And third, but not least, is know your client and know your market. And of course, on the one hand, it seems like obvious, because if you open any kind of the business book, it will say the same. But when we are working daily with a lot of companies to new markets, we see that actually it's very, very crucial. And although it sounds very simple, it's not always like that. And here's another story of another our client, Lithuanian Ragavas Baldai, Kame brand bathroom furniture. So Kame is exporting to quite a lot of countries, and we have worked also with them to quite a lot of countries. But always when entering new market, closer or further one, they do very careful work before to explore what are the market specifics. And with market specifics here, I mean that on the first thing, maybe it can, on the first thought, we can think, well, it's furniture, it's a bathroom furniture, so more or less everywhere it's like the same. Okay, there are design differences, but for example, in Scandinavian Nordics, you won't find or you won't sell furniture, bathroom furniture that are freestanding on the floor. Why? Because you know that in Nordics, like in the bathroom, they don't have shower cabins with the shower tray. They have just slope on the floor, so the water can flow away. But everyone knows actually that anyway, the floor is very wet with the water, so there is no no use for the freestanding furniture because it will be wet and it will spoil. So in Scandinavia, basically all furniture should be hanging on a wall. Meanwhile, if you would enter, I know, you would search for some partners in France or in some other markets, and you will just send the catalog, which is meant for Scandinavia, where all the furniture are hanging in the wall. Then they won't understand because, why all the furniture are hanging in a wall? It's much more complicated. We are willing to have freestanding furniture. So, of course, company can make it, but such small details before really starting to work, but just to sending some information materials, it can, at least it might not help to enter the market. So to sum up, I would say we in Gateway, we always say that export is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It takes time, it takes preparation, it takes some sweats, but the satisfaction at the end is very good, and the fruits are sweet. So good luck.
Thank you. I have one quick question. Are you going to stay for a lunch?
Yep.
Okay, that was the answer I was looking for. So we are again last two standing people in between you, the audience, and the lunch. If there's any quick question, I will take it. If no, then let's go for lunch and let's try to be back in 30 minutes. Thank you.